Hey, what's up everyone? So today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers Kingdom Buzzworthy, Bumblebee, Worlds Collide, Fangry, and Briscoe. So Fangry is this main body section, and Briscoe is the Titan Master slash Headmaster, and there is really no collector card. There is the packaging, but I will be taking a look at that in a different video because it is very big and it really just dominates my review space, so I will be doing that in a different video where it's not in the way or anything. But there's really not much else to look at, so let's just go right into the review and look at the figures. So here is Fangry and Briscoe, and it does look pretty cool. There is a few flaws here and there, but I overall really like the character. So let's take a look at the details. So the head sculpt does look really good. Some nice green for the face, some black for the other part, some pink on the sides, and some black on top for where the hinges for the legs. For the Titan Master, we do have some red on the shoulders and some black. We do have some pink and black for the hands. We do have a nice Decepticon symbol there. We do have some abbreviations, SPD, STR, and INT right there. And some more gray around it, some more pink for the rest of the body, and this little flap here. We do have some more pink and black for the legs, for the rest of the legs, some blue for the knees, and pink, and some more gray for the feet. And some of the wings, really just gray and black for this little head back there, but that's really just for the alt mode. So that's really it for detail-wise. Let's get some comparisons. So I do have Fangry and Briscoe compared with Fangry and Briscoe. So if you don't know what that is the Fangry and Briscoe from Titan's Return. It was a Titan Master. It costed about, I would say, $5, $6, $7. It was a while ago, and it's pretty cool how they were able to go back and redo this character in full size. So that's pretty cool, how long it took for them to make a full-size one. But here is Fangry, and inside there is Briscoe. So let's just pop him out and make a comparison with the other Titan Master. So here he is stored, and it just fills up in this area right there, and it just fell out on its own. But that's cool because I was going to take it out anyway. But here is Briscoe, and this is the Titan's Return one, and we can just pop off the Briscoe from the modern day and compare them. So let's just get these two right here. So this is the modern day, this is the Titan's Return. So as you can see, they are quite similar, really just different paint apps and sections. Pink for the arms on this one, black for the arms on this one, and the different have different shades of pink. And I'm pretty sure quite similar shades of black, but overall the main head sculpt is quite similar. So that's pretty cool. And of course you can transform them like that, just fold them out. And there you go, modern day and Titan's Return. So there you go, very cool. And I can just refold this up and put Briscoe back on Fangry. There is a clip section there, and that will just pop into place. There we go. Straighten that up. There we go. Sometimes that clip section can be a little hard, and with this one we can just leave that out and put that off to the side. So there is one comparison. Let's get another comparison with a former mold mate. So this is actually the third version of this mold. The previous two came out, and also the Titan's Return line, so quite a while ago, and I do have them, so that's pretty cool. So here we have Fangry and Briscoe compared to Grotesque. I hope I'm saying that name right. So Fangry, of course, was from a box set, and this was also from a box set. It was an exclusive set. I forgot what version it was. It wasn't a Selects or anything. I think it was an exclusive maybe to Amazon. Hasbro Pulse was not, I'm pretty sure the Hasbro Pulse website was not even up yet. They didn't even have that yet. I'm pretty sure Hasbro Pulse started in 2017. I'm pretty sure this was from 2016/2015, I think. But this also came, it came of course with this and another Titan Master. It was a Scorponok Titan Master. That was pretty cool. But here they are together. As you can see, they are quite similar. Really just, of course, the head sculpt and the alt modes are different, but the arms and legs are quite similar. But I do have a nitpick with Fangry. He does not come with any accessories, as you can see. Grotesque does. He comes with these weapon here, and it actually can split into two. I'll show you that. You can split into two, and you can have him hold them both. So I'm confused on why they did not have Fangry include these weapons as well, when they're exactly really much the same sculpts, because on Fangry's back there is these slots here where you can store the weapons, and it is the same on him as well, right here and here. So I am confused on why they did not include these weapons. I mean, they're not even that fancy, so I guess I'm not too bothered they didn't give him the weapons, but I do think it would have made the most sense to include them, because the previous two molds did have them, and they kept the slots and everything, so that is interesting why they didn't do that. But let's just put Grotesque up to the side, and let's get into articulation. And we will bring out the other mold. The other mold was Twinferno, the other version of this mold. I will bring it out later for the alt mode to compare. So here we have Fangry, and let's get into articulation. So the wings can go that far forward, that far back, like that. The shoulder can rotate all the way around. The arm can go that far out, that far in, and it can go that far back, and it can go that far forward. So there's a pretty good degree of articulation in the elbow. And there is no hand articulation, there is a swivel. So pretty good articulation in the arms, and no articulation in the hand, which is typical. You can move it in, but that's really due to articulation, but still, options are options. There is articulation in the head, it can rotate all the way around. You can sort of, kind of move it down a little bit, and a little bit up, I would say. There is a panel here which you can move up, so articulation can be easier. Let's just move these out to the side. You can bring the legs out full splits. There is a swivel. There is a knee bend. Pretty good. And can get that far back, that far forward. And there is no ankle pivots. This does move. I do wish that tabbed in better. Actually, it is kind of funny because the previous two versions of this mold, this section was tabbed in too tight and this is too loose. So they just need to find that sweet spot of how to keep it, connected, but not too connected, and loose, but not too loose. But that is kind of funny. It does stay pretty well. Of course, they're not moving right now and I'm kind of shaking it, but it is pretty loose. I think it should be a little bit tighter and a little more connected in. But there is no ankle pivot, but if you want to have it pivot that way, you can. It's an option. So that's really it for articulation, so I guess let's get right into transformation. So I do want to kind of apologize ahead of time, or kind of warn you ahead of time. These sections here are quite loose, so they might pop off, but it's easy. You can just pop them right back on, so to be aware that might happen. So let's get right into transformation. So first, what you're going to do is you're just going to take the Titan Master, put that off to the side, and now you can get the arms, fold in the hands like that. There we go. There we go. Just pop that in. Rotate the arm all the way around to where the section faces forward. You can get these hand sections, bring them down. And these will be the hands for the wolf dragon mode, whatever you want to call it. So now you can get this head back here, and this can collapse. There is tabs on the head, and there's slots on the body, and that will just tab into place. Sometimes it's a little hard to get them perfectly in there, but yeah, there we go. And you can keep the wings back so they don't get in the way. So there's pretty much the top half done. So now let's get the legs. So what you're going to do is bring these tail pieces out, bring these pieces out. Hopefully they won't pop off. I'm going to readjust the camera so you can see it better. There we go. And now you can fold this section in. You're going to want this clip section to go around the body, like that. So there we go. Didn't pop off. That's good. So there is that tab right there, and that will go right into that slot right there, as you can see. So that will just tab into place, and there you go. Do the same thing on the other side. Go around, get that clip section. It will go around the leg, and that will tab into place right there. So just push that in. You'll go back here. As you can see, there are some tabs and slots that will tab into place. Just give that a good squeeze. Put the tail pieces, tab them together. And now, these sections you can unravel. These will form the legs of this wolf beast thing, whatever you want to call it. And there you go. Of course, you can kind of resituate everything, speak kind of how you wish. And there we have the wolf beast mode. So there we go. That's pretty cool. Not entirely sure what it is, but there it is. So let's take a look at the details. So this transformation is overall quite simple. You just need to be a little bit careful around these sections right here so they won't untab or pop off, but it's not too bad. You can just pop them right back on. I don't have that problem with the previous two molds, so I do wish it carried through with this, but that is okay. You can just pop them back on. But I think the head sculpt looks really amazing with this werewolf kind of dog kind of thing. It's very, very amazing. Yellow for those eyes. There is some fur and semi-texturing for it. Most of the texturing is down here, but there is some nice fur detailing on the head and legs, of course, and a little bit on the hands, so that does look really good. The wings are quite simple. You saw them in the robot mode, so nothing special. But we do have some kind of vein detailing there, as you can see, so that's pretty cool. Some more red for the shoulders, some pink and black for the hands, some black for the feet there. The same abbreviations that we saw earlier, some more pink for the body, and some more pink there, and pink for the tail, some more black, and some blue, which we saw on the knees earlier in the robot mode, and some more pink on the back. So if you saw these two posts here, you would probably think those are for Blastwick pieces. Those are not, and I will show you what those are for in just a little bit. And so yeah, very, very cool. So let's do some articulation, and then we'll get into some comparisons and features. So I actually do have quite a few comparisons for this mode, and quite a few cool features. So first, articulation, you can open the mouth pretty wide, and that is very terrifying. Tons of silver for those teeth, very terrifying. Just bite someone's head off, really crazy. And you can close it, no articulation like swivel-wise or looking up and down, but that's okay. If you put the wings back, it can rotate all the way around, move out, in that far. Of course, you can move it in further, but you will have to bend. No articulation in the hand, can move that far back, and yeah, that's really it for arm-wise. For the legs, they can rotate that far back, that far forward. You cannot move them out at all. There is some articulation here. It's supposed to really thoop into place, but you can kind of untab it and move them in if you want to, but really they're supposed to be locked into place like that. But if you want to untab it, you can. There is some toe articulation like that, if you want to do that and, you know, compress them. And the wings are the same articulation as before, that far forward, that far back. So that is some pretty good articulation. So now let's get into some features and then some comparisons. So there is two quite cool features. Of course, one of them, you can get the weapons from the previous two molds and put them on there, which I will show later in the comparison segments. But now there is a really cool comparison. You can get I didn't mean the comparison, very cool features. You can get the Titan Master, unfold the legs, and you can go back here, bring out the wings, and you can get these two posts here, and those are not for Blastwick pieces. This is pre-Blastwick, so these are for the Titan Masters. So there is two posts, there is two ports on the bottom of the Titan Master, and that will just port into place. So it is a very, very tight connection, so you really have to push down on it to get it into place. And there you go. So you can have him riding the dragon wolf thing if you want. It's cool, I guess. Yeah, so if you want him to do that, you can. Pretty cool. You can have him kind of bent over, kind of looking overhead like that if you want to. You can have him sitting down and have him on his back. Or he can be flying and riding if you want to. Very, very cool. Another way you can store the Titan Master, just unplug him from there. Don't just yank it out because you could break off those posts. I do hope, I probably won't do this feature very much. I wouldn't recommend to do it very much because a main problem in Titan's Return is you put the Titan Master on the posts, but the posts would break off and get stuck in the ports, so I would be very careful. Don't yank it off to the side, go up, and don't even go very hard up. Just kind of slowly wiggle it off. I probably won't do the feature very much. I wouldn't recommend to do it very much because I have several Titans Return figures where the Titan Masters have the post stuck in there, so I would not do that very much. I probably won't do it very much myself. So the other feature is you will have to untab the head. You will have to bring this section up, which will kind of automatically move that panel. And there is a section in there for him to ride in. So there is a little notch on the back of his legs, and there is a slot there, and that will just tab into place. So you can't have his arms out or in. Either way, I'm going to have him out just because. And you can just peg that into place like that. Close that up, and that will stay in there like that. You can tab this into place like that, and you can have it in there. So the previous two molds, it was easier to put them in there. This is a little bit different, and I will show you in just a second. So let's get into comparisons so I can show you. So now we have some comparisons. Here we have Fangry and Briscoe compared with Twinferno and Grotesque, and himself, of course, from Titans Return, Fangry and Briscoe. So as you can see, they're overall quite similar. Of course, the only difference is really the hands. He has some small kind of claws, you could say. He has some pretty much the same sculpt as his, just the claws are different. And the head sculpts. He has more of a dinosaur, kind of two-headed dragon, and more of a wolf kind of head sculpt. The wings are quite similar, which I will turn it around so you guys can see better. Of course, he is quite small compared to the rest, but the character is the same. Really, Titan Master is quite similar, and the Beast is pretty similar, kind of dragon, you know. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to move the Titan Master off to the side so we can turn these around and look at the differences. So the wings are quite similar. He has more kind of transparent wings, and his are pretty similar, really. Just there's an Autobot symbol on the front side, but the back, really wise, they're all quite very similar. So the Titan Master is actually quite similar because you can put a Titan Master on his back, and like this one, you can have him ride the dragon beast sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. So I do wish it came with those weapons because, of course, as you see, these came with some, but this one doesn't. And you can actually get the weapon and have a Titan Master ride it. There is two pegs there, and you can use the ports on the bottom of the Titan Master to have him on the weapon. So I do really wish it came with those weapons. It is odd how they didn't give him them. It does kind of seem like maybe they cheaped out, sort of, but overall I think Fangry is a pretty cool figure. So let's turn these back around to do some final thoughts. I already went over articulation, of course, and details, and I did just do some comparisons, so I guess that's really it. Overall, I think it's a pretty cool figure. I do think there is a few flaws here and there, like the tightness of joints. I do wish he had those accessories, but I think it's pretty cool that I finally have a full-size Fangry figure, because for so long I had the really small little Titan class figure from Titans Return, and of course it's kind of like a new mold for some people, because, you know, a lot of people probably weren't able to get these two characters because they were from quite a while ago, I would say, you know, like 4 or 5 years, I would say, maybe. Also this one as well, so this might be a new character to you, or a new figure to you, so that's pretty cool. I'm okay that they used this same mold from these two, because it is still changed, and I overall quite like this mold, so I think that's it. So I'll see you next.